I can indeed use an upward motion to serve backspin and a downward motion to serve topspin. The variation lies in the fact that I change the contact point on the ball by using different racket angles. If the racket is flat and rubs the bottom of the ball, if the racket is vertical and rubs the side of the ball, topspin. It has nothing to do with the direction of the applied force. So everyone, if you want to be able to most accurately judge whether the opponent's serve is side back, then you need to put all your attention on what? During the opponent's serving phase. At the very moment of contacting the ball, what kind of racket angle they are using. As long as the racket is vertical at the moment of contact, it must be topspin. If it's flat at the moment of contact, this ball must be backspin. It certainly is a backspin. This is also definitely everyone, backspin. You must learn to watch the ball. First, for long or short and left or right, position of the first bounce. For topspin and backspin, you watch the opponent's racket angle. I will teach everyone how to make adjustments when receiving a serve. So what are we adjusting? For example, if an average person serves a backspin versus a beginner serving a backspin, the effect will definitely be different. That is to say, the opponent might want to serve a backspin, and the spin type is correct. But there's always a difference in spin intensity. Right? Now let me give you a few examples. Look everyone, you see, for example, this one. This one is not very spinny, not very spinny backspin, and the ball doesn't curve back. What is the second one? Medium spin. The ball slowly starts to roll back. What is this one? Heavy backspin. The ball rolls back at a faster speed, da, right? It returns relatively fast. This is heavy backspin, isn't it? So if a backspin serve comes over, we also need to push it back, right? Then how should we adjust when pushing? Because you all will find that if you are watching the ball, watching the opponent spin, but you don't watch the intensity of the spin, you will find that during the receiving process, it will often happen that it just barely misses the net and goes straight into the net. Or the ball you push pops up slightly. Come, let me receive one for you now. I will intentionally let the opponent serve me a heavy backspin, that is to say. He uses this combined force serving method to chop downwards desperately at me. This will be spinnier than all normal backspin balls, right? Okay then, when I go to receive this kind of serve, if I didn't pay attention to the fact that he served it and I just push it normally like this, everyone, you will find, wow, it's so spinny, it hit the net. Now the opponent serves me another backspin. One that basically has no spin on it. A very weak backspin. And I still use a flat racket to push it. Hey, look, why did this ball pop up? But you might say, I did return it, but it wasn't very effective. So therefore, how should we judge that? Intensity of the opponent's serve. First, for his serve let me to show have heavy spin. There must be two necessary factors. What is the first one? There must be friction. What is the second? He must be exerting force. So how do you judge whether the opponent is applying friction or not? You have to look at what? Look at the moment he contacts the ball. What is the tilt angle of his racket blade? Look, everyone, the ball is actually divided into bottom side, left side, right side, right? So think about it. The more I can brush the bottom of the ball, the more backspin the ball gets. The more I brush the top and back of the ball, the more topspin it gets. The more I brush the left part of the ball, the more left side spin. The more I brush the right part of the ball, side spin. So everyone, look at his racket. The more tilted it is, the flatter it is, the more vertical it is, the more it's like this. You see, the more it's left side spin, the more it hooks inwards. It is. What? More you need to observe the degree of tilt of his racket angle. Friends, let me give you an example. If he serves like this, for example, and his racket angle is like this, do you think this ball is very spinny? It won't be. Why won't it be so spinny? His racket angle is not flat enough. The more vertical it is, the less spin it has. You see, if my racket angle becomes flatter, doesn't this ball instantly become spinny? If I'm not that and flat, still chop down like this, it doesn't curve back. If I chop down a bit flatter, my bad. Let's do another one. Very look, spinny. Everyone. See that, friends? So you must definitely You also have to look at the racket angle through the tilt of the opponent's racket angle. The degree of tilt. See if they have enough tilt. Enough friction against a certain edge of the ball. That's how you tell if there is friction. A ball I serve like this is definitely not spinny. And this flat, this ball is dead spinny. See that? The ball curves right back. So now you know the first method, right? Judging the opponent's racket angle, the degree of its tilt. Then what is the second thing to look at? How much force they apply at that moment. Friends, this sentence. Actually, many friends will have a misunderstanding about it. Are they completely watching what? Watching the opponent at the moment of contacting their overall magnitude of force. Big. If you feel your serves are not very spinny anymore, you can also listen to this. It will solve both of your problems at the same time. Look, everyone, if we talk from the server's perspective, if my swing motion is very big and I use a lot of strength, will this ball definitely not necessarily be spinny? My motion can be very small. See, isn't it spinny? Well, no, it is very spinny. Why? Because in the first type of motion, even though my motion was big, due to my force being relatively stiff, at the moment of exerting force, I'm exerting force at a constant speed, in a state of brute force. And the second type, you see, I stand here just very flick casually. My wrist like Why this. Is the ball spinny? That's because I used skillful force. I relaxed first, which means that at the moment I contacted the ball, my acceleration was fast. Did you all see that? I didn't use massive strength. I accelerated very quickly, right? So if everyone wants to see whether the opponent's serve is spinny or not, you shouldn't look at whether their motion is big or not, nor should you look at whether their strength is massive. You have to look at the moment they contact the ball, how fast of a what they created for the ball. Acceleration. You see, friends, is this ball spinning? Not big at all. Is my tomahawk serve motion not big at all? But if I make a very big motion, like this, it must be spinny, right? It bounced twice and went off the table. But now, with my technique, maybe just I can make it curve heavily, right? Therefore, if they want to serve with spin, these two factors must coexist. One is having friction. Second is their instantaneous acceleration. The better they do, these 2 points, the stronger the spin of this ball will be. The worse they do, the weaker the spin of this ball will be. Right? So everyone, based on this method, you can properly judge the strength or weakness of the opponent's serve. Now that we know the strength of the opponent's serve, how should we adjust? Everyone, look, what are we adjusting? We also need to adjust our racket angle. I'll teach you a method like this. When the opponent serves a backspin ball or a topspin ball, you all know, as I just said, the flatter the racket angle, the heavier the backspin, right? The more vertical the racket angle, the heavier the topspin. Actually, it's the same for us receiving the serve. The flatter their serving racket angle, the more backspin. Then when we receive it, our racket angle must be flatter. If the opponent serves with a vertical and serves a very heavy topspin, can we push it? Of course, we can push a topspin ball. It's just that our racket angle also, just like their serve, we just push it vertically like that. I will do a demonstration for you all. Everyone, look, if he serves a very spinny, it must be a very spinny combined force. When I receive this, my racket is also very flat. Coming to me, everyone, look, is this ball effective? It's nothing at all. Look, friends, because as long as my racket is flat enough, I won't eat the spin. See that? Okay, then. Now let me have him serve a topspin ball. No need for side Just top. Have him serve this thing over directly. This is definitely a pure topspin, right? This is definitely a pushing pure topspin, will make it pop up. Let everyone see. Can I push it? Is my push low? Friends, did he serve a topspin? I am still able to return a very low push to him. So how did I manage to do that? Everyone, receiving a backspin ball and receiving a topspin method. The difference between these two is the racket angle. Backspin, you see, my racket angle is flat. When he serves a topspin ball, look at my racket now. Am I very vertical, friends? Am I even pressing down a little bit? Then the ball I push out like this. Everyone, look, will it still pop up anymore? See that? I can even drop it short. Look. Right? Will I still push this ball high? It won't pop up. So this is to teach everyone. You have to base it on the intensity of the opponent's spin, right? You need to know if the opponent's serve is very spinny. Way, when you go to receive the serve, you can have a what? An adjustment of your racket angle. Only then can you ensure that no matter what kind of spin intensity, the opponent serves the ball very low. Understand? Because pushing it on the table is only the first step. Pushing it low is the second step for quality. Because as long as this ball is regardless of whether it's short or long, it's very good, very good. Why? As long as the ball is low enough. He won't dare to exert force like this. He will have to do what? He will have to brush upwards. Once he brushes, the trajectory gets high and the ball gets pressure slow. Will be reduced. It doesn't even matter if you let him loop it back half high and this slow. It's easy for us to block, right? No matter how spinny or high your push is, if the opponent smashes it past us, we still won't be able to block it. This is what I want to tell everyone. How to judge spin intensity. How to adjust your racket angle when receiving. Alright, after we get past this, let me explain many friends to everyone during serve receive encounter a problem I believe many friends will have. You've passed the judgment phase, right? Then you have the next phase, thinking about how I can, through my eyes, transmit the judged spin and position to my brain, and then transmit it to our what? Footwork. So when everyone goes to receive a serve, you need to clarify an awareness. It is that after our eyes have judged the ball, what we need to rapidly adjust is what? Our footwork. Many friends feel their hands react quite fast, but their feet can never keep up. This is because, for many friends, your starting point is that when the ball comes, the first thing is I reach out my hand with the racket reach the ball. Let me show you a few incorrect demonstrations. You see, I am ready here. The opponent serves to me, for instance, first reaction is doing what first? For this ball, everyone look, I reached my hand out first. Can I reach my hand out then first? Move my footwork. You can try it again after your arm is fully stretched out. You will find your feet basically can't move much anymore. The ball is here. Loop it with my forehand. Moving my feet while adjusting my hand is okay. If I have stretched my hand out and you want to move again, you will find you simply can't move. Because when you move your hand, you have already pulled your entire body's center of gravity off center. Because in this ready stance, your center of gravity is very balanced between your two legs, not leaning forward too much, nor leaning back too much, not leaning to the left nor to the right. But everyone look, as soon as I even though my legs haven't moved, everyone look, isn't my center of gravity directly tilted under this situation where a person cannot stand stably, don't even think about it, right? So therefore, our first starting point must be learning to move our feet first. You must have the awareness of moving your feet first. Because everyone's friends will notice when my foot steps over. Can my hand fail to follow? Right? My foot is already here. My body is already here. Can my hand still stay back? The hand will definitely be here too. But if we reach our hand out first, my feet can completely get stuck behind. A very incorrect posture, including during the process of you playing. When you see the ball, the first reaction is to adjust footwork first. Then the second thing to adjust is what? While adjusting, everyone must learn to adjust the center of gravity at the same time. If I don't use my center of gravity now, don't adjust the center of gravity and only use footwork and hand. My foot stepped in. My hand went in too. But why do you get the feeling that my body is still very far from the ball? It still feels like I haven't quite gotten in. Everyone take another look. Did the foot step in and the hand reach out? Why can't the person reach it, right? It's because my center of gravity didn't come in. So how do you, when receiving a short ball, ensure your center of gravity can definitely come in? Everyone, you will find out there's a ping pong table around, or a dining table. You will find the table blocking here. Your leg actually cannot reach very far. If you can maintain a forward-leaning center of gravity and you try to stretch your leg inwards, you will find you simply can't stretch it in very much. If you really want to stretch your leg all the way in, you will find your center of gravity is already leaning back. Isn't that right? So therefore, since the leg cannot stretch in very much, then how can you get close to the ball? That relies on the upper body. Everyone, look, the upper body gets close to the ball. Look, everyone saw me controlling this short ball. When I drop it short, you see, my upper body went in. Why is it that when my upper body goes in and I push, or any ball, whether I flick it, or execute any other techniques, right? Why can I do it well? Why can I be stable? Because my upper body came in. My body, my center of gravity. My hand, what will they simultaneously do? They will simultaneously be closer to the ball. The hand is also closer to the body. And then the body and hand are closer to the ball. So this feels like what? We are clustering together. Using the entire body to control this ball. You will be able to control it very stably. But if your upper body doesn't come in, your center of gravity doesn't come in. It's equivalent to you, originally, using your whole body's strength to control this ping pong ball. But now we are only using our hand to control it. That is just hand strength. It definitely lacks the body's power. First, footwork. Second, when adjusting footwork, adjust our center of gravity simultaneously. This is when stepping in, especially when receiving with a banana flip. Push on these balls. Your upper body must be able to come in. You have to feel your entire body getting controlling this ball simultaneously. Only then can you properly execute the coordination between foot and hand.